interesting thing that I thought is that we'll stop manually editing photos because AI would have edited the photos for us. I thought credit cards will disappear. You've got GPay, you've got Apple Pay around the world, we've got UPI, we've got all kinds of other payment devices. So I don't know if you need to carry a card. Plastic cards in that sense.
But the big thing for me was to be able to load my card
on
GPay, right?
Correct.
Or you can use it as an NFC or whatever option, which was fantastic. You know?
So sports cars are going to become obsolete. Yeah, and the sad part is they are already on the way. So BMW is going to stop production of Z4, their sports car, in March 2026. That will be the last version. Porsche has its speeds. I'm specifically saying sports car because that is going to happen sooner.
Correct.
The internal combustion engine cars as such will become obsolete, but sports cars might become, obsolete much sooner.
I think the other way of looking at it is that if everybody is moving to electric and mass transportation is becoming electric, I'm thinking that there might be more space on the road. Then you should just buy yourself a nice sports car and keep it. So whenever you want to just roll down the road, so that it's just like my Mars area. There'll be more place on Earth if everybody goes to Mars. As you move to mass transportation, the road will become empty. Just go for it.
With the cost of healthcare going up, if you want to check whether you're healthy or not, just pee near a tree and wait for a few minutes. If ants gather, you have diabetes.
Perfect.
There
you go.
If the tree dies, you have this. And if you forget to zip up your pant after you feed, then you have Alzheimer's, right?
I was so keen to use the metro to go to BKC because of the stop, but it lands up in the middle of nowhere there. So then my grand idea was I'll send the car ahead and get it. How useless is that?
So micro mobility, Samiran, not extending mobility to the most expensive.
One car, one driver.
Now, from micro mobility, we went to using two modes of transport simultaneously to reach same destination.
Techies, 2 lists, 1 year.
Segment 1, tech that may cease to exist in 2026.
Segment 2,
tech that we would love to see in 2026.
Welcome to another episode of 3 Techies Banter, the first episode of 2026. As you know, this is a podcast in which we talk about technology, but in a fun and conversational way so that, everyone can enjoy it and can have a view and an opinion in. One of the things I did for myself in 2025 to equip myself for this is get a PhD. And right after I did that, I made a video that said the delicate art of looking busy and doing nothing, just to make other people jealous. And that's the level of preparedness we do. And I took special care this time to ensure that I was not color coordinated with Sheetal, because I think she's taking serious offense to that. But having said that, we typically land up doing an episode which is about predictions. But we thought we'll kind of take a different view of it this time. We look at technologies we think will not exist in 2026, which means that, technology will move at such a pace that some of the things we do, the skills we use, or the devices we use will kind of go away. And in the second part, we will look at some technologies that we would love to see in 2026. Like, for example, a taxi to Mars, maybe, and stuff like that. So having beautifully introduced you to 2026 in our first episode, I will hand over all the painful work of explaining all this to Sheetal and Nilesh now.
Nilesh, I'm going to let you start.
Okay. So it was when you doing trends is a bit easy because essentially you fall back on the past and kind of try to extrapolate what might happen. Doing something like this is a bit complex. That you are actually now saying these technologies will go obsolete, and there are many things that can go obsolete, but to predict them right now is a bit more difficult than doing a kind of a trend analysis. So I have multiple things that came to my mind. I'll pick a few and then we'll see, come back to some of them. uh, One of them is a bit controversial. I'll start with that one. Controversial more so because I had a long discussion with my son on it. It is, I feel, yeah, and it was a good discussion actually. He did agree that probably what I'm saying is right. I feel console gaming will become obsolete. Now that's a what I mean by console gaming is that Xbox, PSP, the consoles that you get, I think will become obsolete. It won't happen in 2026. I'll tell you the reason. The reason is that with the advent, and when I see my son gaming and many other serious gamers gaming, I don't see them using consoles, honestly. Okay, I see them using their laptops essentially and doing a cloud based gaming, right? Now, we had an interesting discussion across all this that it may not become obsolete and it will have a different avatar. So, in console gaming, essentially, you are limited to the titles that the company has kind of has partnership with, right? So, on a PSP, you'll get some titles which you'll not get on Xbox. Most of them are exclusive partnerships, right? But this thought came to my mind, console gaming, out of the fact that if you are aware, there is something called Steam, and they created a Steam OS, which is a cloud-based gaming, right? And Steam suddenly is actually jumping into console, and I find it a bit counterintuitive, but it's interesting. And what my son told me was that Steam has access to all the cloud games, right? So their console is going to be the most powerful, and it is going to really give a huge amount of competition to Xbox and PSP, because these guys are already on cloud. They don't need new partnerships. They'll bring everything to console. Now my counterpoint to that is consoles will become, there is economics behind it. So console is cheaper than getting a powerful laptop, right? Or getting a big monitor and actually putting a accelerator and hard disk and stuff like that. So there are economics. So probably console gaming will, the target audience might change or it might become obsolete. When I say target audience, meaning it might be limited to younger kind of kids, and parents giving them a console on a Christmas. But for serious gamers, honestly, with most of the people want NVIDIA chips, NVIDIA accelerators. You need fans because it generates heat. The networks are fantastic, so cloud gaming is glitch free. You get controllers which you can still use. Controllers is fine. So I feel console gaming might become obsolete, or the target audience might change. So this was first a bit controversial one. I didn't find it anywhere that people are saying it will become, but I feel so. The second one I read somewhere and I found that probably people do think in the lines I am thinking. The second one on my list was printers, actually. And when I say printers, I'm talking of typical the house and office printers. And in that, I think I feel India and countries like India will actually, it will become obsolete first here rather than a country like Ireland. And the reason being is the maturity of our DPI. So if today a police accepts a license which is in DigiLocker, right? Why can't a PDF which has a QR code be a verified document rather than a physical copy which has your signature, right? Which is typically the use case for printed document, and it's good for environment. So I think printers will get obsolete. You'll have high-end printers for posters and stuff like that, but actually, home printers and office print, and you'll see that in offices, in the recent times, you don't find many people standing near a printer taking printout, of their, for their kids or even resumes for finding new jobs.
Well, resumes
these
so
were my
now
two.
has reached another level, right? Because everybody's trained their
Yeah.
resumes for bots. So now they're not even looking at the resumes. They're saying you come physically and do the interviews because
Correct.
they don't know whether it's the right person they're interviewing and hiring. So that's a different story altogether, I think. But you're absolutely right. In fact, I was just reading news the other day and they said Xeroxes of Aadhaar and PAN are no longer going to be allowed. So you're not allowed to
Perfect.
submit a Xerox. It'll have to be done through biometric and things like that. So you're already seeing that. So if you were printing or photocopying something, it won't happen anymore. So you're right. That's something but I do see the rise of 3D printers on the other hand. Uh, but that's on the rise side. Two of the things that I thought were very interesting, which I think we will stop doing, right? One is I think none of us is going to type long messages. We're just going to be allowing AI to compose texts. So we'll type 3 words and everything else will get typed for us. So I think we'll speak rough thoughts and everything will get typed. So we'll stop typing long messages. Zaruri kya hai? The other interesting thing that I thought is that we'll stop manually editing photos because AI would have edited the photos for us. So today what we do is we take a picture, we edit, we crop, we make it better, blah, blah, blah. Tomorrow AI is going to do it all and you'll just stop editing photos and uploading AI photos. The cameras are getting better on your phone. AI is getting better on your phone. And therefore, why will you need to edit photos before posting? So that's another one that I thought was not going to happen. Samiran, over to you.
So I think mine is not so fancy, and I've got very basic aspirations here. So I think passwords as we know it, right? I think they are going to go away, and I don't mean like they'll just go away in 2026, but I think you'll see more and more people using other forms of authentication.
Yeah.
So I think India, in that sense, was a leader in that we did two-factor long ago, and which is one of the reasons a lot of our cards don't work on US sites because they always fail. But generally, just because with all this news of breaches and all that, people are becoming much, much more conscious. So in fact, Sheetal and I were just talking about the concept of pass keys and, maybe there'll be more biometric, or then it'll just become naturally, it'll just become second nature that you'll use some form of biometrics and all, which will make it more difficult to hack. And I think we must remember the purpose of passwords is really to just make it difficult to break it into your account and go to the next guy's account. So I mean, as long as that thing is, so I think passwords is a big one, which will start seeing a transition away. The other one I thought was that, and I've seen a lot of trends, is traditional keys. I think all modern homes, at least gated communities and all, everyone's got either a touchpad or some kind of fingerprint or there's some other form of authentic. Because you realize that when you have a key, you don't have one key. You make 4 or 5 copies. Husband, wife, and then the servant has one. And then you have to put it in separate bunches because one bunch has all the keys in one bunch. So may not be something which will go across the country, but it's definitely a trend that keys will again move to something more personalized, something, a number or a impression you have. And the third one, I think, which is again natural, is I think slowly we're going to see the what should I say, eradication or the removal of hard drives. I mean, there was a time when we were worried, the cloud, but I think again that has now become second nature because the amount of data each one of us stores, it is so much, it couldn't be possible without the cloud. So I think, I don't know what we are going to do with the extra space that we'll get on our laptop or whatever we'll do. But I think hard disks as external drive on personal devices, at least, I'm not talking about server farms and all that. Obviously, they will store. But on personal devices, it will slowly start going away.
Yeah, so
and
storage devices per se. I
per
think will
se, at least at the personal device level.
I thought credit cards will disappear. You've got GPay, you've
Hmm.
got Apple Pay around the world, we've got UPI, we've got all kinds of other payment devices. So I don't know if you need to carry a card, plastic cards in that sense.
The big thing for me was to be able to load my card as
On GPay.
on GPay, right?
Correct.
Or you can use it as an NFC or whatever
Yeah.
option, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
Correct. So plastic cards, carrying plastic cards. I mean, I don't think I remember carrying plastic cards too often because everything's now on your phone. Even your, cards are digital. So where is the need to carry a plastic card? That will go, I think.
I think totally agree to the choices, both drive and cards. I'll take an example. Actually, that is already on the way to become obsolete because my son, he just uses his phone
Correct.
in US and Ireland. He doesn't have any physical card at all.
Correct.
And for all his transaction, it is just his phone. So in payments, in terms of that, the payments are going to become totally, phone initiated and settled. I think one more I have to add. Everyone knows that it is going to happen, but I'm sad about it. Is that, and it will happen sooner than later. Is my favorite topic, which is cars, right? So sports cars are going to become obsolete. Yeah, and the sad part is they are already on the way. So BMW is going to stop production of Z4, their sports car, in March 2026. That will be the last version. Porsche has its speeds. I'm specifically saying sports car because that is going to happen sooner.
Correct.
The internal combustion engine cars as such will become obsolete, but sports cars might become, obsolete much sooner because, and I feel sad. The reason being that the joy, you get out of a lightweight sports car which has a manual transmission, all that joy and control, there are only a couple left now, right? So one of them is a Mazda Miata or a Alpine or Porsche. BMW is out, and I'm not talking of cabriolets, I'm talking of actual sports cars, right, which are lightweight, small, pure driving pleasure kind of stuff. And the sad part is because ICE engines will go, electric cars don't need gears.
Correct.
Right. So the whole control and the feel of control, at least, that you had over driving and the pleasure is essentially gone in electric cars. So might as well go autonomous, right?
Correct.
So you don't need to drive. So that is the future. Most of the people are predicting that it will be driverless cars.
So, Nilesh, I think the other way of looking at it is that if everybody is moving to electric and mass transportation is becoming electric, I'm thinking that there might be more space on the road. Then, you should just buy yourself a nice sports car and keep it. So whenever you want to just roll down the road, so that it's just like my Mars area. There'll be more place on Earth if everybody goes to Mars. As you move to mass transportation, the road will become empty. Just go for it.
So before we end this segment, I have to do one, which is I have to do this for Samiran. Samiran, what's going to go is guessing what your pet needs. Okay. So Pet Tech will now tell you that Yumi is anxious, Yumi is hungry, Yumi needs whatever. That's
so
going
I
to
can
happen.
tell you one thing that they're welcome to try, but I'm discovering a whole new world of animal psychology now. That nothing in common between my previous dog and this one, like Toffee and this one. I mean, this one doesn't like food. She wants a little home for herself. So we bought her a little wigwam, and so I mean, yeah, all the best to that. But
so that's my last one. That you will not have to guess what your pet needs.
My God, I don't think the dog also knows what she wants. So I have a couple of these which are like more like skills, which I think we prided ourselves on. So one was this whole thing around map reading. So I think it's gone literally now because I think nobody is going to even ask for directions, and also that map reading and anything which was in the physical world, newspaper reading and all that. The other one I realized is that people used to pride themselves on knowing languages. But I think that will go away. With these universal translators and all, I think that innovation will change the way we communicate and take away the whole premium on knowing a language. I mean, as long as you know one or two well, that's all you need actually.
Hey, from a research perspective, that means I will lose all my simultaneous translators because they are the ones who are currently translating. But tech's going to take over that. I think Hindi to English,
Yeah.
Telugu, Tamil to English is just going to become, SimTrans
No,
is
but
going
even
to
normal
become.
conversational, right? I mean,
That's what I'm
people are
saying.
using translate. Now you're talking and you show the person, okay, this is what I mean. But now that will also be not needed.
So that's what I'm saying. So ultimately, you'll take the translate version and take it onto all jobs which are to do with simultaneous
Correct.
translation. On that note, I think we should go to those technologies that we think we're going to absolutely love and enjoy having. And one of the ones that I am really looking forward to is instead of having to find all the things that I have to buy, the agentic AI just does the things for me. So it does all my bookings for me. It takes away one task from my job list, which is what is to put in my grocery basket, all of that just gets taken care of. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to instruct anyone. It'll just land up on my doorstep. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. One less job to do.
I think if I have to think of what technologies I would love to see soon. I think I could think of a few. One of them was, I think we spoke about AI and how AI is not able to learn evolutionary skills, right? I mean, and what we have today is generative AI, which is text, image, and all that stuff. But honestly, something like what Tesla is trying, an Optimus Robo, which probably the whole idea is if it does the menial task of especially when you're in Europe and US and you don't have a help. I mean, if it does all those tasks, it frees up my time to do something more interesting rather than, doing dishes and laundry and stuff like that. So that tech should come sooner than later, but I don't know how far it is. But that will come, honestly. So I think it will. The other thing is probably might never come. But with all the Indigo stories and travel woes, I would really love to see if you could travel like Star Trek, right? But I don't think it is ever happening. Teleporting is something which will bring back the joy of, actually going to places without a harrowing travel experience.
Beam me up,
but I don't think.
Oh, that would be such a dream.
On that point, it's just like thinking of it like charging stations. Now, just think of this. Like, supposing you beam from one place and land up on another, and assuming there is a limited landing positions and taking off, imagine the chance of colliding with each other.
Or landing on top of each other's heads.
And I'm not sure how the molecular structure and all will be handled. Like, imagine my hand comes out in your head or something.
I know. That is why I'm saying it is never going to happen. But teleporting would be lovely.
So for me, the most helpful technology would be some technology to find devices that go missing in the house, like spectacle, my wallet.
That's already there.
No, it's not. It's not. See, I'll tell you what. As an example, supposing you don't see well and you lose your glasses, how do you find them? You can't see. I mean, I'm just saying it has to be something which is intuitive and easy and across. It's not the idea that you put a chip here, put it, then find the phone. Now the phone is missing. Now what do you do? So I think finding all the devices that you have in the house is a huge piece of technology.
I was thinking about personal data pods, right? So your shopping history, your health data, your financial breadcrumbs, everything is there, but it's not on the platforms. You own it. And you can say, I'm giving you access to this for 10 minutes, or I'm giving you access to this for 30 minutes, like that one-time password. You've got access for 10 minutes and that's all you get access for. So imagine granting access to your data in sachets. 10 minutes.
Oh God, Nilesh and I, we talked about this for ever and ever about the decentralized identity and monetizing your data. So basically it's like a reverse commerce thing, right? That means I will sell you my data willingly, you pay me. So everyone becomes a commerce engine, literally.
Yeah, so I want my own data bank locker and I give access, and you have to either pay me for it or at least I know who's getting it for how much time. That if it happens, I don't know it'll happen. I keep dreaming of digital socialism, but I'm hoping that at some point in time this is going to happen.
So
May
my
not happen
initial
in
PhD
2026.
thesis was going to be on this. I couldn't find a guide for it. So I had to switch because it's useless. Don't do it. So that is the state of affairs.
See, if you
Yeah.
didn't find a PhD guide, then it means it'll happen in reality
Ah.
because
that is another way of
guides
looking
say
at it.
no,
That is another way of looking at it.
it will happen.
Yeah.
They are the ones who never want
I-
to take those risks.
That is true.
I think one more that comes to mind, and it again might happen, is whenever you are all of us have become kind of Google based doctors, right? And we search for conditions and we get answers. And over a period, what I've realized is that you look at Gemini 3.0 and all, it has really come of age, right? I mean, so we have not reached the general intelligence level, but it is amazing. So the answers are accurate, the answers are really accurate. So I was thinking that why when you look at India especially, right, when you look at remote villages of India, you have one dispensary or a small hospital which will have a doctor, right? And mostly a doctor who has been educated in AIMS is not going to take a posting in a village or a big. So the doctor would be from some
Smaller
not so
university.
great medical school. Don't you think that Google AI might be much better than that kind of doctor? And I'm not talking of surgery and all.
Yeah.
I'm talking of basic medicine, right? So I think the thing I would like to see is that probably the quality of health and medicine might go up using AI so you have to create a wrapper of what can be, right? So you're not talking of procedures or someone being guided to do those procedures, but you're talking of just basic sardi, zukam, khasi, and some more complex things, and someone giving you that, and the medicine being delivered, right?
But
based on a AI medicine kind of.
So I'm not seeing it as
prescription.
AI, but I'm saying you can have cloud doctors, right? Which means that you go into a dispensary and you have like, I have this problem, and a doctor comes on cloud for you, has a 5-minute conversation with you, checks out what you have as symptoms and says, okay. So he could be sitting anywhere in the country, but he's available on demand. So it's a cloud doctor.
I do agree. The problem with that is, again, people will have to create apps, look at the economies behind it, because what is the paying capacity? I'm saying this is like almost free, right? It's almost comes so cheap. I mean, if you look at even cloud doctors, you're right. They already during COVID, people were doing on call doctors, right? I mean, but they were taking 500 or 700 bucks, which is the usual. I don't know what is the usual going rate of one sitting, but this might be like an interesting way. Someone has to create some. It's not there as yet, but I think that would be interesting.
So I'll have to tell you an anecdote about this Gram doctors coming from another serial I watched. It is called Gram Chikitsalay. So to your point, there is actually this doctor who comes to this primary healthcare center. He's some topper and all, but he wants to do good. He comes there. So then he discovers that everything is getting sold out with medicines, this, that. So he realizes that the blood pressure machine, everything has been sold out. So he gets totally hassled, okay? And he's then fuming. He said, "Kya kar rahe ho? Blood pressure machine bhi phek diya." He said, that guy said, "Lekin blood pressure machine ki itna zarurat nahi hoti hai." He said, "What do you mean? You can tell blood pressure without using the blood pressure." He's saying, "Ab jaise ki mujhe abhi dikh raha hai ki aapka blood pressure बढ़ रहा hai." So, but you're right that the primary healthcare is a big challenge in a country like India, not only for the doctor, but I realize also for supplies, for infrastructure, operation. But
this actually, it triggered off something that I was watching on Instagram, I think yesterday, and it said that with the cost of healthcare going up, if you want to check whether you're healthy or not, just pee near a tree. and wait for a few minutes. If ants gather, you have diabetes. If the
Perfect.
if
There you go.
If the
Native
tree dies, you
intelligence.
have this, and if you forget to zip up your pant after you feed, then you have Alzheimer's, right?
This is called transference of madness.
Yeah. This is transference of
No other
madness. I agree.
explanation for her to say this.
Sorry, that just reminded me of that madness.
But anyway,
Yeah.
so the other technology, I think, while not revolutionary, is the fact that two things. One is that maybe we will move away from GSM and other to sat-based phones. It's expensive now, but you have realized now that you can't talk to people. The signal is dropping, But we know satellites are very reliable. So I think that some economies will work out there. And number two, I also feel that the form factor of the phone will change somehow. So it may not be it'll be something more wearable because the health and all of that is getting integrated, right? So I mean, maybe it'll be a watch, it'll be something else. Maybe it'll be just some embedded chip or something else like that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it could be a tree also.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. So the other one, and because you love to stay in Dadar, Mumbai and Prabhadevi 2825 pin codes, I thought an interesting one, and I keep seeing these. I want e-bikes and small scooters, so just micro mobility. I mean, there's no way, forget long distance, but just micro mobility if we can get, that will become really fun to do. So e-bikes, electric scooters, tiny EVs, all kinds of stuff. So little things to zip around.
The last
in
mile
and-
connectivity, actually, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. One of the big challenges of public transport is last mile connectivity.
Correct.
That, if you get to a place, how do you then go to the end point? Then you have to take a cab or something, then it doesn't make sense.
Especially in India. Because,
Right.
our metro, I mean, I was just,
Oh God.
I've started to use the metro more often. And I realized that that's exactly